Okay.
Hey.
Hello. Divorce Part 2. So, one of our friends saw the short and messaged me and had some rather, in my opinion, archaic things to say about divorce. It's about like the modern woman, and I guess just like the fact that they'd seen some interviews about women divorcing their husbands or significant others after like 5 or so years around that time period, and then just being asked why, like reasoning, and a lot of them said it was a toxic relationship. And they were asked, how was it a toxic relationship? They would say, well, there was abuse. And then the interviewer asked, well, were the cops called? And I'm just gonna let you weigh in.
So, the way you explained it to me earlier was more like,
well, because this person's point of view was that that marriage has no sanctity now, and that women just leave.
He's afraid.
Women just
like
leave
men. Women are just like, oh well, I'll just divorce him, and they're doing it often, and
that they're using abuse as an excuse,
right?
Like they're throwing it around all willy nilly.
So, my first and main thought is that
coffee.
Women have changed in a way that it doesn't suit men anymore.
I love that.
And men have like evolved into this like they just got all these ideas and fantasies, and and women do too.
What kind of fantasies?
Okay, like for a woman's fantasy, it would be like happy family with kids, a husband who like loves her and cares for her. And
real quickly, hold on. I'm sorry. They mentioned that about being happy. They were like, that's what women want now. They have this fantasy about just wanting to be happy. So as soon as they're in this marriage and they feel stuck and they feel like they're not fulfilled and it's not this fantasy world and they're not happy, then they want out.
And I thought about that. It actually made me feel guilty because like I would tell my soon to be ex-husband like I'm miserable, and I've tried my best, and I'm just like I've always done my best, with what I had at the time, and he was just like and I kind of envied the fact that I envied the fact that he was willing to stay miserable, like in a way, in like a sick way. It's like
and you were positive that he was miserable.
Yes.
Because he said that, or because he acted that way?
A happy person would not have said the things he said to me, or treated me the way they treated me, or done the things that he did. If someone was happy in their marriage, the things that we did wouldn't have happened.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did start being like, oh, maybe women are just giving up. And
my ex-husband seemed unhappy as well.
Yeah. Well, like he would like, I have like the recordings I have.
Mm-hmm. That's
where it's like, you suck. You're not a good wife. You're this, you're that. And it's like, how about you just leave me alone?
Well, you were polite. Actually, you were extremely tolerant.
In those videos.
In those recordings.
Yeah. Because
you were like, okay, can I just go to sleep?
Yeah, can you?
I have to get up really early in the morning.
Can you just get the fuck out of my room?
I didn't even...
I did say that.
Okay, I'm like, I didn't hear that. My problem with that point of view was that it made it sound like the abuse was falsely reported. And
women don't call the cops.
And here's the thing. Okay,
ever.
yeah. So here's the thing. I'm like, okay, my issue with that is is that are some things falsified? Yes, absolutely. There are people who say things happen that didn't happen. Yeah. And that is a real shame.
Or your
It's
perception.
a real shame. There are the like let's just say for argument's sake right now that Amber Heard was lying. Okay? Let's just say it. Like there are the Amber Heards of the world who cry abuse and while they're shitting on somebody's Johnny Depp's bed. And or whatever the fuck she did. And I don't know. Like I don't know, man. Like I say about celebrities, there was probably cocaine involved.
If she did do that, okay, I'm sorry, I won't get into it.
No, please do.
I would. Everyone's like, oh god, I don't know why we're talking about this. It's like
because I just brought it up,
but I think it's hilarious. Like if you're that pissed at somebody and you're just
why is that what you would do?
And you're like, I'm gonna take a shit on the bed and blame it on the dog.
You can tell the difference between human shit and dog shit.
I think it is seriously so funny.
I think it's gross and a really weird thing to do. I think it's a really bizarre way to be like, payback.
Okay, they're celebrities, and we've already established celebrities.
They're so weird.
They don't.
So weird.
They're like, how else can I one up you? It's like,
yeah, okay, weird.
If I was a celebrity, I mean, there have been some low times in my divorce where I've done some like pretty childish things, and like if she had the balls to do that, and like no shame, I just think it's funny.
Okay, but getting back, on no, you're good. I'm the one who brought it up. So steering back toward this whole sanctity of marriage thing and how it used to be that people didn't get divorced as much. Like statistically, people stayed together more, and he was even throwing in there, kids were brought up in households where parents stayed together,
right?
And that was better for the kids.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, maybe. Well, here's the thing: is
because those kids raised us now.
Yeah, the thing is that women weren't reporting abuse and women weren't getting divorces because that wasn't acceptable. It wasn't socially acceptable to report and to talk openly about that. So
I called the cops on my husband.
So I would argue that society was not able to or ready or even near ready to hear their side of the story, our side of the story.
Yeah.
And so maybe there has been an overcorrection.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in no way, shape, or form do I think that as a whole, the entire gender has just found a way to escape it. Marriage.
Well, yeah. It's just fucking the world going to hell in a handbag.
And hasn't it always been? I find it ironic when people say things like, it's just worse now than ever. I'm like, hasn't it always been?
Yeah, it just looked
it just was different. Yeah. Well, that's a whole different topic.
People were like running well, they still run on fear, but like,
well,
back then it was like,
oh well,
like back in the day.
Dude, this is a whole different topic though. I mean, let's delve into that next time. Let's talk about like how like being raised in the later 80s and then the early 90s as kids and like what we were afraid of, and as opposed to like what our kids are afraid of now, being moms, and like how different that is.
Okay.
I would just like to close it with a very random observation that I've had recently. Ants are super spicy this year. Super, super extra spicy. Like,
is my lip
smelling.
Made out of ants?
We have that lip plumping.
We tried a new lip.
We tried the lip plumper lip gloss. Is it working? Anyway, no, like, okay, so I crushed an ant between my fingers. I'm not a murderer. Like, I usually try to keep the bugs alive.
Ants?
But
Or taste
ew,
them?
no. It was like on something that I was holding, and I was like, ah, and so I crushed it. And then I could smell my fingers, like I had them down at my sides like a normal ass person, and I could smell the ant from my hand down by my side. Like, and I was like, that is a spicy motherfucker.
You know, my mom got me to eat ants once.
Yeah, the people do that. They cover them in chocolate and eat them. It's normal. It's actually not that weird. So, like, I'm just saying, in my whole, 36 years here.
You've never smelled an ant that's spicy.
On the earth, I've never smelled an ant like that. And it's been happening on a regular basis. Like, there's another one. There were a few more.
Maybe your sense of smell is heightened.
Oh, yeah? Do you think COVID had the opposite effect on me? And now I can smell better?
I think at certain times of the month, they would go back to hormones. Your sense of smell.
No, dog. I have not been on my period for like 2 months straight.
I'm not saying it's your period. You have a heightened sense of smell.
At a certain time a month.
I didn't mean on your period. I'm saying like every week you kind of have a different special ability.
I don't know.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Discuss it amongst yourselves, and comment like your opinions about divorce stuff and relationships and whatnot. Cool. Till next time.
Bye.